The tumultuous relationship between Bret Hart and Vince McMahon is well documented, with the infamous Montreal Screwjob being a defining moment in professional wrestling history. However, years before that controversial incident, another memorable event unfolded, shedding light on the heated history between the two icons. In a surprisingly candid interview, the legendary wrestler shared a shocking story about the time he attacked a drunk Vince McMahon at a strip club. This incident, filled with both humor and underlying tension, serves as a captivating glimpse into the complex dynamics of the wrestling industry and the insane stories that happen behind the scenes. In an episode of Bret Hart Radio, the legendary wrestler shared a shocking story about the time he attacked a drunk Vince McMahon at a strip club a few years before the Screwjob. The atmosphere at the strip club that night was nothing short of wild. Bret Hart, along with several WWE stars, found themselves indulging in the vibrant nightlife of San Antonio, Texas. Vince McMahon was in high spirits that evening. As the drinks flowed, so did the camaraderie among the wrestlers. However, with Vince's increasing intoxication, the night took an unexpected turn. Bret revealed that it was during this raucous evening that Hulk Hogan issued a challenge to Road Warrior Hawk. The dare was simple yet audacious. Execute the Legion of Doom finisher, the Doomsday device, on a heavily intoxicated Vince McMahon. Intrigued by the prospect, Hawk and his partner Animal cautiously performed the move, ensuring that Vince's safety was not compromised. However, the impact left much to be desired, prompting Jim the Anvil Neidhart to suggest taking it up a notch. Bret explained, "I remember Neidhart got so mad, he really got upset. I remember he looked at me and he goes, 'Hart Foundation would have done it.' I think I said something like, 'Yeah, we would have done it.' I remember I had 2 shots of Jack Daniels, one in each hand. I remember looking around and all of a sudden I realized what I said to Jim. All of a sudden I turn around and Jim had Vince in the bear hug for the Hart Foundation move. I just remember Hogan and a bunch of guys looking at me, 'Are you going to do it? Or are you just going to do a powder puff one too?' Hart further added, 'I just took his head off. I just took straight off. Clotheslined Vince right in the bar. Took him right to the ground. I remember our heads both banging on the cement. I can remember Vince looking at me while we were both on the ground. He turned his head to me and I was just lying flat right beside him. With that move, that flying clothesline I used to do, the only way to do it is you've got to swing your legs up in the air and land on your back shoulder blades so you don't get hurt. Same with Vince. I pulled him down, I protected his head and everything, but we landed with a pretty good thud on the ground." Vince McMahon managed to find humor in the situation, and he jokingly remarked that Bret now owed him a drink. In a peculiar twist of fate, the strip club incident seemed to have unforeseen consequences for both Bret Hart and Vince McMahon. Roughly a year or two later, Vince approached Bret, informing him that he needed to undergo surgery on his neck, but Vince had no memory of injuring it, with Bret replying, "Maybe it's that time I clotheslined you in the bar in San Antonio." Vince sort of thought about it real hard, and then he looked at me and said, "Maybe it was." I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't have brought that up. Maybe that's secretly where the whole screw job came about. I've got to remind myself to get this guy down the road.